It's Friday Night Live with your host, your brother Methos, and the Breeze, and recently escaped from the basement, Hoodies. And now for the car wreck of the show, welcome to the Cross and Fizz. We are live. What's going on, guys?
All right, what is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Methos.
And I am Freak.
And I am slave labor, Oni.
You're not.
Wow. Wow.
You're just my guest in the basement. That's all. That's all.
it. That's all, baby.
Uh-huh.
Man,
The basement guest.
Yes. Yes.
What's with the ball and chain?
That's not what it's all about. So I just don't know where you come up with that crap. Anyway.
Oh, man. So how is everybody doing tonight? Gosh. There was a little bit of stress this week, you know. Work was a work thing this week, and I'm ready to be part of the weekend and chill with my bros, hang with our community, and talk a little bit about our favorite game, Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
That's not my favorite game. What are you talking about?
I mean, our could be very vague.
See, that's why you're in the basement.
It's like, what about us? I didn't mean to tell you about this, but Johnny is.
You know.
You know, 'cause when you know, you know.
I don't know. You never know, but when they know, you know. You know. Oh man, it has been a week. First of all, before we even talk about the hobby, how are you guys doing this week? I mean, I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Oh yeah. Woo.
So long.
Tuesday. I'm a little under the weather. I think it's my damn allergies that are kicking my arse. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm trying to. Last night I actually had to take some melatonin to try to get some rest and heal up. Really excited for tomorrow. But yeah, we're trying to get all feeling better and stuff. So trying to get all this head. But yeah, man, overall not a bad week.
Awesome. Oni, brother, how you been, baby?
I've been good. Just trying to get all these cards for Kingdom Death sleeved. So all 1,400 cards.
Oh god. That's all? That's all?
Yeah, I mean that's rookie numbers. I gotta step my game up.
I'm really excited because stepped up with some better lighting. Like the sun. Retinas. So got some better lighting and all that. So got my lighting properly set behind me. Yeah. Looking kind of trying to do the whole profesh thing. Let me move you up a little bit.
I installed some new LEDs. I didn't realize my old LEDs were starting to burn out. And so, like, the light seems a lot whiter and crisper here. So
I know.
I'm really pleased with that.
I know.
I know.
Oh no.
Well, nay.
Oh no.
We got Lupus in the chat.
What's happening?
Good evening, peeps.
How you
Smash that like button.
Smash it. Like
And
you
then
kind
we
of
got-
smash.
We got Hellworks in the chat. Says, "What's howling?"
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
As always, fam, let us know what you're working on tonight,
an
or what
ass.
you've been working on. Let us know what you got for a poke chop.
I like pork chops.
I ate
Obviously-
pork chops today.
Ooh. Were they good?
Oh.
I almost had some pork chops. Ooh. I had to stick with a salad because I'm fat.
I had me some pork katsu.
Some what?
Okay.
Pork
Katsu
katsu.
pork, yeah.
Ah, okay. Very nice.
It's pork, but it's like it's
Pork
fried,
butt.
but
Butt.
it's like panko ready,
Yeah.
and it's like fried.
Fried pork butt.
Mm.
What I'm talking about.
Mm.
Nothing like the ass of a pig. Mm.
Mm. Man, I was so full afterwards. I had to take a nap.
I had some Jason's Deli tonight with my favorite. Got that hot pastrami sandwich, the New York
Oh.
Yankee.
Very nice.
Oof.
Love that. They have a great Reuben too.
Yeah, in general, their pastrami is on point. Whether you get it the New York Yankee style or you get the Reuben style,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong.
It's
I do
super
like the
thick
strawberry
because it's
shortcake.
like that thick, man. The thing is like a slab. You and
Yeah,
your
that's what she said.
strawberry shortcake. Ugh. I like
Hey.
strawberry shortcake.
Hey, man, delicious.
I have yet to try any pastrami here in the Houston area that's better than it. Somebody last time we did this, we talked about pastrami on the show, and I was like, "Yeah, I haven't had a better pastrami here in Houston." Somebody said, "Oh, you got to go down to Cat's Deli because they do it straight New York style." And I'll be honest with you, Jason's Deli, the big old chain, in my opinion,
They're
outdid.
Them clothes, yeah.
Yeah, the cats. I know it's not the original out in New York, but the cats here in Houston couldn't hold up to Jason's Deli. So
I mean, cats in general really can't cook anyway, so it's like kind of silly to.
I don't
say
know.
that.
One of my favorite
Watch
games
one of the employees is watching this. He comes knocking on your door. He's like, "What'd you say?"
oh
Kick my door in.
in Monster Hunter, the chef is this big, muscular, badass chef cat. And, you never complained about the cooking in Monster Hunter. First of all, it looks amazing, but second of all, the freaking cat is bigger than you are. I got biceps bigger than your head in Monster Hunter, so you don't complain about the cat's cooking.
Meow. Oh God.
I sent it back once, and then I got killed by the monster.
Some are better than others. Yeah, that's true. Oh, so I know you're working on sleeves right now, Brother Oni, but what you been working on this week? You finish up any projects? Get some paint down on some models?
I didn't really put some paint down, but I based the cataphractic terminus from World Eaters, so they're done. And then I put together another Survivor,
Nice.
Kingdom Death, for a game tomorrow. Put two of them together.
Hell yeah.
So got some goodies, but I'll do that after pork chop segment. It's not really something that I've done, but you know.
Lily was going to join us for tomorrow, but unfortunately, while we're off having fun and playing Kingdom Death, she's going to be working on a research paper, you know.
That sounds like so much fun. Yay.
She is hardworking, though, trying to better our future, though, so I can't give her too much crap.
Oh, no, nobody's going to give her crap. Because she does the whole boot to the head thing. Thumbs up, says this guy. No, man, good on you. Good on you. Yeah, so my wife is actually going to go and tomorrow and Sunday, she's going to go and get her riding course for motorcycles. It'll be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep. Pretty freaking cool. So she's just about has all her gear now. The only thing she's missing is the bike. So hopefully we'll get that soon.
And we'll have family rides.
Family ride, yes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Although I don't know how we'll be able to ride our motorcycles and pull the basement behind us. That'll be a little
It's
weird.
right. Just put probably wheels on the bottom.
Yeah, probably do that. Still would look weird. People will get looks for sure. I'm not sure.
You know, in The Matrix 2, where that 18-wheeler's pulling the mobile home the delivery home,
Yes.
and they fight through the house while it's like chugging down the highway. I'm imagining something like that, but instead of a cutaway house, it's a cutaway basement. Greg says, locked in the basement. Been there. Greg, my man, how's that vacation going?
In the
Hope
basement.
you're doing well, brother. Oh, when he said been there, he meant recently.
Like, yeah, someone help me out.
I'd like to say Greg is always a
basement?
great motivational
Speaker.
guy. Think about it. If you are in charge of your own happiness, okay? Take Greg for example.
Hey, Greg.
Okay, if he gets locked in the basement, he's calling it a vacation, right?
Actually, I tried doing that once, and then Freak just came banging on the door. I said, "Hey, quit having fun."
Oh, God. It worked. We were just making too much damn noise.
And then he came back again. He's like, "Quit thinking about fun."
Thinking about fun. How dare you be thinking of fun at a time like this?
So Freak had an interesting bit of hobby on done this week. And you know what? He's got the power. Freak, why don't you tell us about your project?
So, I'm painting my son-in-law's Space Wolves, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna screw with them. So, what was the name of the character, Methos?
Ragnar.
Okay.
So I want to go back to last Tuesday.
Go ahead.
He and I were, me, him, and Oni were hanging out painting a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's clipping a part off the sprue, and he goes, this head looks a lot like He-Man. Fast. He doesn't say anything else. I mean, we have a good chuckle about He-Man. He doesn't say anything else about it. Fast forward to another week, we see each other again this Tuesday.
Yeah.
But he also painted another head that looks like Terry Bradshaw.
Kind of does. So I'm thinking, you know what? I know Ragnar's typical head, right, is a dark hair. It's tied off, right? And
top knot, yeah.
Top knot and everything. Just looks like a Viking SOB, right? He just, right? Nah, I took that He-Man looking head and I put it right on top of Ragnar's body.
Do the thing where you have the camera zoom in on just you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. How I can do this. Let me see here. Come on. I'm not sure if it's going to let me do it because it's being pulled. Well, maybe it will. Maybe we'll do this.
I think you have to talk to get it to stay on your.
Oh, let me see here.
It's a little too close for my comfort.
Yeah.
Comments like that is what sends me to the basement.
There we go.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could zoom in like that too, but I just meant like the stream, have it focus on just you, like you had when I was.
Yeah. Okay, let me bring it back.
I mean, you could be super zoomed in on your face too. I'm sure the crowd likes that.
They'll love seeing my zit and my nose. Okay. Let's see. How did I do this last time? You speaker. All right. So, okay. Can you change now? Oh, Zoom is so stupid.
It says when it's good and ready.
There. I think it's done there. All right. That work? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, yeah. So, there we go, guys. By the power of Grayskull. So I can just get my head out of the way so it'll stop tracking my freaking head. Anyway. So, yeah, that is... There we go. At some point. There he is. Ah!
I have the power.
Yeah, I think he came out pretty good.
I got the power. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum.
Demonetized. All right.
No, we still got like 7 seconds.
Oh, okay, good. We'll continue.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so there you go. There is He-Man, and on his glory. So there you go. That was funny. And I kept going with Terry Bradshaw, and I shouldn't have. So I kind of messed him up a little bit.
The too much gene.
Yeah,
I am
damn it,
intimately familiar.
damn it, Terry. Ah, come on. He can't even be. Bloody hell. There, come on. He's like, oh, like somebody punched him in the eye. He's got a black eye.
He looks fine.
Oh, yeah, he does. He got his ass kicked. Oh, no, Terry. We said football would hurt. All right.
Good old Terry.
That's realistic weathering on a person.
Yes. Oh, my
We got
God.
our brother Marine in the chat.
Woo!
Says, I hope you're all doing well.
What
Happy Friday.
What's happening, homie?
We got Who Took My Dice. Have a great evening. Please let Oni out of the basement soon.
Oh, he is
Small
out.
doses,
He's
small
out
doses.
right now. He's
Yeah, small
turning
doses.
up. Yeah. Can't take him too much right now because he was like,
Yeah, apparently I don't know how to act around people.
no,
Or
you
public.
cannot.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a great, hilarious episode of Freak the Gamer coming out, special featuring his son Oni and his daughter Nina.
You'll see why in that video why I'm not allowed to go out.
Let's just say it. Okay, so we played Bigfoot when I recorded it, 2 hours worth, right? And like the first half we got killed. Second half we finally get him. Spoiler alert, right? So, but the whole time,
By the way, you're welcome.
whatever.
It's my
So the whole
controlling
time I'm
thing.
thinking, okay, I don't know if this is going to be good. You know, and you kind of when you're playing the game, you're thinking, not sure you're really going to have good content and footage and all that. Oh my gosh. Every second, every moment, there's like, what did he just say? I'm dying laughing. I'm rewinding, like listening to certain bits. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe he said that. So yeah, it's going to be one of those crazy moments where it's like, oh, okay. But so it was a lot of fun. We really had a good time. Nina's chomping at a bit to play again soon.
That's awesome. Misadventures of Mr. Fish. Hey, happy Friday. Glad I could catch
Friday.
one and whoa.
There's that. There's a wah. There's definitely that.
Dave says, language. What's up, Dave? Good to see you, my friend.
I speak too. What?
We got, you know what? Next month is Orktober. I think my brothers here might be speaking a little more wah in the future.
Wow. Do it.
Not me.
Wow. Say it. Wow.
No.
Do it.
Wah.
Come on.
No.
Do it.
And Keegan says, sup
No.
from the hot tub in Branson, Missouri.
What? You're in a
Dude.
hot tub? Hey.
Dude,
You got-
how classy are we?
Right?
We're the entertainment
You gotta
next to a
remember that
hot
you have
tub.
to wear pants and underwear in a hot tub or else you'll burn your giblets.
Nonsense. I've never heard a thing. And again, I haven't seen my giblets in a while. But hey, look, think about it. You got 3 guys with you at the hot tub.
Pants optional.
Right? Pants complete. Hand check. For now.
So as soon as
Wait.
one of them gets out, the bubbles start. The bubbles stop.
For
That's when
now.
they realize. That's when they realize he was the one maintaining the
We'll
bubbles.
see if the hand check works later. Now.
You play anything else this week, my brother?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, got to play some more Generation Zero with Marine and Brother Meeks. That is an addicting friggin' game, man. It is a great game. Man, it's a lot of fun. It's like 7 Days to Die meets Rust, but it's robots, right? Robots are trying to kill you, so it's pretty cool. A lot of fun.
It wasn't like that when I first got it, so they must have added the base building to it recently.
They just added, yeah. It's just a little bit of base building. It's not as extensive with the base building. There's some defensive stuff that you do, but that's a little further on. But it is a fun freaking game, man. My hands are up.
you said hand check. Keegan goes, my hands are up.
Now, to be fair, we really can't see you.
I mean, presumably he's typing with the hands, so they're probably up.
Or is he?
Or is he?
He could be one-handed in it.
I mean, if he's typing, if his hands are up and he's still typing, I mean, that's talent.
That is talent. Then there's people that can actually type with their legs, their feet.
Hi, my name is Brian. That's it.
I mean,
What up, baby?
considering which one of his feet he's using to type.
Right.
If it's not his
talent.
hands, yeah.
I had a friend once, or we used to be friends, who used to allege, and none of us, all of us called bullcrap on it, but he alleged that he beat Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda, with his feet.
Simple.
I don't think so, because if you remember the Nintendo 64 had this weird upside down W controller with like a trigger grip at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's not really a controller you can wrap your feet around. I think it's called bullcrap. But alleged.
I mean, depends on which foot. Which one of his feet.
If you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
That's what I say. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Like how I put my mind to escaping the basement every once in a while.
I don't know how you do it. I put in so many locks, and you still seem to pick it. I don't understand it. I mean, I guess that's the same way. I guess the same way, he can use his third leg to type. I guess I'm not sure. No. Nina Chick used to do that. She actually used to play, which was weird. She actually used to play. It was a PlayStation 2 back in the day, and she would do it with her feet when she was little. I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Has many talents.
Yeah.
Wow, I entered the discussion about Magic Keegan talent. Oh, Keegan's got many, many talents, my friend. You've seen him dance. What's funny is, when you're subscribed to someone's OnlyFans page, you can see other people that are subscribed too. So, keep that under your hat. Some of the game speed with Guitar Hero controllers are insane. I hopped in the pool and back out. I hopped in the pool and back. How did it become magic? Well, I mean, it's a good thing you're in a hot tub, because one magic trick that happens typically to us is when you hop into a pool is we make something disappear.
Wait, so it's called OnlyFans and not OnlyFans?
I mean, that's
the wrong site then.
Yeah, let's just say shrinkage is involved. Don't understand how that works.
Oh man.
You get so wrapped up yelling at yourself,
I was trying to see what the whole hubbub was about, and all I saw were pictures of flans.
No, the hub is a different website.
Different.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Well then.
That's it. Encourage Keegan. I don't feel safe in the hot tub with him now. Sounds like you pole vaulted out if you. Oh man, what about you, Owen? Did you do any video gaming this week?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Oh well, actually, you've been super focused on Kingdom Death.
No, I've actually been doing some painting. Worked a little bit on the on Freaks Black Templars.
Nice.
I've been getting distracted with a lot of things.
Well, let's be PC and just call them Templars. I don't.
What?
What? Nothing. So,
This is my resignation.
Myself this week, I've gotten quite a bit done. I've done some of my chipping, and my tanks have been the paint a few minutes a day project, and I finally got them finished up. I finished weathering them last week. I did the mud effects. You do a video on those little mud effects too, but yeah, I got the tracks all weathered up. I kind of overdid it with the rust and took them a little too far orange, but then I hit them again. So.
I think it looks great.
I was about to say I put it. Then I dry brushed a little more silver and hit it again with the streak and grime, and I think it balanced out. So
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I think we need
pretty
to just
pleased.
crank up this. Let me see.
I remembered something.
What's that?
You know how I told you guys that Lit Oni came out?
Oh
week?
yeah.
Turns out I did buy something.
Really? What'd you buy?
It just wasn't on my debit card.
Oh.
It was on my credit card.
What was it?
I'll let you finish. It came in the mail today.
Okay, so 2 demolishers. And I painted up.
What?
And then I finished up 3 of these Crusaders for my Imperial Guard. And I really like how the capes came out, because I decided to have it so that way their capes kind of drag through the mud, because on all my, that's not a really, you can see the swamp a little more clearly on this one. On all my Imperial Guard, they're kind of.
Oh, let me change the look. Give me a second.
Okay.
Methos.
Thank you, Brian.
No.
Okay.
No, god dang it, hold on.
Oh, okay.
What, that speaker immersive? Oh god, no. What? This guy. Come on. No, oh god. Why does things never work right? Oh, I hate life. You, gallery first. Alright, speaker. Why?
Mini Warma says, and yes, volume down.
No small active speakers. No. Go thumbnail video. No. Why is Methos is so tiny? Or only so tiny. Okay, I need to be able to put them back. Place in. I don't understand
Hey,
why.
you can't put me back. You promised me at least 3 hours, 3 times.
3 hours.
It reminds me of Dresden. When Dresden lets Bob out, they have to negotiate on how long he's allowed to be out of the basement.
Oh yes. Okay, I guess that's gonna work. All right. Come on. Double click. What? Press escape or double click to exit full. Let me see here. Oh, okay. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, whatever. It's just being stupid right now. Full screen.
Nothing.
What did you do?
Nothing.
For everything.
Let's see here.
So true, Methos. I don't know what I said, but something is true.
Anyway. That's as good as it's gonna get. I don't know what happened.
All right. So, anyways, on my Imperial Guard, I have them all kind of marching through the swamp. You can kind of see the swamp there.
Swamp ass.
At the, around their feet and stuff like that. And so I wanted to do their capes.
Special abilities.
I wanted to do their capes as kind of like drag through the swamp, And so I really like the way the effect came out. And that's kind of, I think, my favorite detail. The shields are nice. I like the green tabards. I like the the kind of the dirty metal effects.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think the
dirty boy.
The mud splatter on the capes is my favorite part. And actually, I think this, keeping to my promise, one guy in the squad, no helmet, so I got to practice my Only
scared
No,
face
we
toes.
technique again?
We said 2.
No. You keep trying to adjust that. But
No. We said 2.
Anyway, so yeah, one guy in squad has a no
Sexy.
helmet.
You look
And-
so good.
And this time, I did a true blonde because last time I did a blonde.
You did a
Freak.
blonde. What's his name?
Freak complimented me, and then 5 minutes later was like, "Yeah, which blonde actually? Who's actually got yellow hair? Who puts yellow on blonde?"
Me? I do it all the
Trash
time.
talking.
So yeah, I went with the true blonde this time.
It was the whole Bloom debacle all over again.
Oh my god.
And then, nice hands too. Thank you. I'm taking up a career as a hand model. So, and so then I decided to do
Sexy
this
hands.
Lady Sergeant as a true blonde as well. And it is definitely out of spite for Freak. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've been watching House of the Dragon lately with the Targaryen. So, but yeah, so I've gotten I did those 3 Crusaders, and then I've been working on including that Lady Sergeant I was just showing you guys. 5 of these, 5 sergeants for my Imperial Guard infantry squad, all with swords and plasma, just to try and keep my squads consistent, so that way I if I have redundancy, I think redundancy makes the units more effective, but also redundancy makes it easier for someone still trying to remember what his squads do. So if every squad is the same, it'll be easier for me to remember. Shout out to brother Greg over at Gamers with Coffee, because I wanted to do they're the same sculpt, and I wanted to make them slightly different. And also, these sergeants are third-party printed sergeants, and so I wanted traditional GW plasma guns to keep them WYSIWYG. Because the sword's a sword, but the plasma guns have a pretty unique look to them, right?
I like playing with swords.
And so Greg had sent me a bunch of the Kill Team Trader Guard bits over for my Imperial Guard to use as conversion bits. And so I've got these cool, some of the swords are the more traditional swords, with either the smooth hilt or the marine kind of saber hilt. But then I've got a couple to change up the look with these kind of spiky hilts and a straight blade. Then I got on this one's a spiky hilt and a curved blade, almost like a saber. And so, but those dragon people have white hair. But yeah, it's like a platinum. It's like white, blonde-ish. So, but yeah, so, and then of course, also being able to change up the look a little bit, like, it's a little heresy, but like some of my guys have like a spike in the shoulder, because like I said, these actually come from Trader Guard bits. Not that these guys are Trader, they just got a little bling, Which one? This one actually has like some chain bling coming off one of his shoulder pads. So yeah, I'm really enjoying, using some of these guard bits that Greg sent to make my guard a little more, unique. Well, it's not really white hair with the Targaryens. It's like a white. It's got like a very slight yellow shade to it. So it's like a super blonde. But yeah, so those 4, these 5 sergeants, their bases are already done. They just need some matte varnish, and I think that's it.
Matte varnish.
I intentionally saved the sexy lady version of my sergeant because I want to do a couple of YouTube Shorts tutorials. One, because somebody had asked me how I did. Actually, I've had 3 different people ask me how I did the mud effects on these capes. And I figured, I can kind of do the same thing on her trench coat back here. Actually did it for all these guys too.
Can you zoom in on that mud effect on the cape?
Well, the feet are submerged in the water. So, the mud's underneath the water. So I've just got
the mud effect on the cape.
On the feet?
No, cape.
On the cape.
Oh, on the cape, yes.
I don't know why you kept
On the-
going feet.
Well,
It's like,
there. Well, I mean, I
you
didn't use the.
fixated on feet, you know.
what is
I didn't
wrong
use
with
the.
him and his feet?
I didn't do the Vallejo mud effects. I used my mud effects have been a blend of streaking grime. Streaking grime. What is this? This is a Minotaur, red clay, and Minotaur bark.
Mark.
That's been kind of my recipe for mud effects. So.
That sounds good.
Wow. I just okay.
Yeah, delete that comment.
Anyways, and yeah, I think I'm
dog
going to
it,
do
dude.
the swamp effect on her base too. So that'll be 2 different little tutorials I'm going to get out of her. And so, well, anyways, that's it.
Mini Woman says he likes feet. He doesn't know why. I know the reference, by the way. I know what you're talking about. Does anybody know the reference of that? I like feet. I don't know why. Great movie. No? Let me change your socks. No? No, all you're thinking is me asking you if I can change your socks. No, that's not what I'm
That
referring
was
to.
you being you.
Right? Mr. Deeds. Come on, you haven't seen Mr. Deeds?
It's been
Oh my
wild.
God. Y'all just, you know what? I'm just.
Wait, was that the butler?
Yes. Yes.
And then he takes the socks off and it's all black.
Well, no, it wasn't the butler. It was Adam Sandler. It was Mr. Deeds that he did. It was like he had frostbite in his foot,
Yeah.
and he told me, "Go ahead, whack at it. Take a whack at it." The
But wasn't
butler.
it the butler who was saying he wanted to take that he likes the feet?
Yes, and
Yeah.
and he tells the butler to go ahead and take a whack at it with a poker, and then he stabs it right through. Oh my God, you're sick.
And he
You're
was
sick.
freaking
No,
out.
that's all right. I really don't feel anything there.
D, my
Big
man.
D!
Good to see you, brother.
Because he's got a big D.
D says, I know that movie, Freak at Home.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, you done with your pork chop?
Yeah, I'm
Methos?
done.
All right. So,
Wow, that sounded kind of hostile.
it wasn't
Are you
hostile.
done? Are you
Why are
done
you
with your
trying
pork
to
chop?
start-
I heard. That's what I heard.
Why?
Are you done with your pork chop, Methos?
All right. So
Are
I
you
guess
done?
were
Are
done.
you
were
done?
All right. So I
Like,
guess your heat bloom was done.
Like,
and now
are you
your
done?
blonde
Because
hair
if you're
is
not done, I
Now
can
you
make
wanna
you
start
done.
mess.
That's what I heard.
You know
That's what
what?
I heard.
I'm going back.
That's what this guy heard here.
I'm going back to the basement. I don't need this. It's nice and quiet in the basement. I don't need this.
It should be. I got it all padded up. Nobody can hear you screaming.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, it's the nice thing. You know, it's the small thing.
The little things that count, right?
Anyways, Ledoni got this for Kingdom Death. It's one of the expansions.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what? Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't show the box.
Oh, jeez.
I can't show the back of the box. It's
That's
Oh,
the-
wow.
that's the
Yeah, okay.
sexy
Yeah, enough
expansion,
said.
right?
Yep.
it's the one with the cape.
Got it.
QNSOW. And then
Them toes need them Bolton toes.
this.
Very neat.
Arr.
Did that. Did that.
Nice.
Well, hello there. Why is
Oh,
my
wait,
camera
there's
so
more.
high? There's so much space above my head. There we go.
Did that.
That's more than them toes.
Oh yeah, he messaged us earlier this week, and he's like, "Somebody may or may not have gotten lit this week.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
that.
Look at all this." And then what's funny is after we said, "Oh, you got lit, you got toasted. What'd you buy this week?" He goes, "Actually, nothing. I checked my bank account this
And
morning.
then that.
Look how many bucks."
Oh, gosh, man.
That's it.
And by the way, we are planning to play tomorrow, so we got a nice group coming over to the house tomorrow, and
Heck yeah.
I am really looking forward. I'm super excited about it. I got to play a little bit.
You want to talk about our game?
Yeah. It was yeah. So Oni brings the okay. So Oni, my daughter Nina Chick, she's a massage therapist, and so Oni comes gets his massage, periodically, and of course he's hanging out, and so he decided he brings Kingdom of Death, and I'm like, okay, let's play. Show me how to. I was kind of hoping that Methos was maybe to stream so we can kind of play together. It didn't work out too well. he had family over. No, anyway, so we start playing, right, and dude, this was an amazing game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a little complex. But we started out, of course, with the tutorial, right? Steve, it was the white lion.
The tutorial.
Yeah.
The tutorial is a boss fight.
Right. It's the first. Yeah, it is a boss fight, and of course.
It is the white lion.
Yeah, and so we probably did a couple things wrong. This is the first time we played it, but we really had a good time. We all survived. We survived.
At first, it wasn't really going that well.
Yeah, no. I thought it's like, okay, Oh, by the way, it was funny because we were trying to debate who's going to go first. I said, tell you what, my rolls suck ass. So why don't you go ahead and roll first, and let's see what happens. What were you rolling for? I'm trying to remember.
All right. So the mechanic with the game is each turn, a different player controls the monster. And so Freak wanted me to control the monster first. And when I rolled for his attacks, of course, they all hit.
Yeah.
They all hit and they all wounded. And they were against Freak's character because he had to target the closest survivor, which one of his characters was.
Yeah. So it was like, oh my god, I think we're gonna be dying very soon. But overall, though, I mean, we actually managed to survive. We killed the stupid thing, and we got to learn. We were able to loot it.
Yep.
Bone and
some claws and some organs.
Yeah, claws and organs. Yeah, so we were able to make some weapons. We saved some for Methos, so when he comes and plays, and we already started. We didn't finish, but we started on the settlement because you actually have to create a settlement, and then we rolled for how many people we were able to propagate within a settlement, which was pretty neat. I didn't think I was like, that's pretty cool.
Freak was like, you roll, I don't want to roll.
Yeah, here, you do it, because I'll probably get like one. So we'll have one settler there. But it was a lot of fun, and it didn't take that long. I think it took us longer to just kind of get to understand the rules a little bit, and we still during that time we still didn't get them 100%, but I think we'll be able to get it this time. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun now. We'll have Methos, his brother, Nina Chick will be there, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Although it's gonna be a little bit tougher. Since we're not going to be fighting the tutorial line. We're going to be fighting the level 1 line.
Yeah.
Whole different set of stats.
I know. Although I don't know, maybe we should have Methos and Raz and Nina Chick fight the tutorial line by themselves.
She is going to be able to make it tomorrow.
Who, Nina?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, she says she'll be here. She's not going anywhere. Kind of like same situation as Oni, basement dweller kind of thing. No, I'm just joking. No, yeah, she'll be here. But I don't know. We'll discuss that. What do you think, Oni? At least they can have an idea.
So you just want them to do like generic characters, not transfer over to the main game? Just like a one-off thing?
I don't know. How will that work? I mean, we'll have to, I guess, discuss that. I guess it should be okay. It should work just fine. I hate for them to start off, fighting the level 1 boss and.
Well, the thing is, if we have them do the tutorial line, if they were to kill it, any resources they won't be able to carry over with ours.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true because we started the game already. Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. All right. Yeah, we'll be okay. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a really, and
Yeah.
of course, Oni gets all these other expansions. And
Now, I am super excited because I've been in love with the models for Kingdom Death for years, basically since we first got into the hobby like 7 years ago. And so being able to actually finally sit down and play the game is a huge hit list item for me.
yeah.
Oni's making my dreams come true.
it's what I do.
I forgot. I just covered the models I was working on. Other pork chops from this week. Video game wise, I had a couple days where my wife was studying and working on her research papers, and so she was like, yeah, just, feel free to, hang out at your desk and do some gaming or whatever you want to do tonight. I'm going to be tied up. And I'm like, okay. So I did some painting, and then there was a couple nights where I sat there. I'm like, man, I get to do some nighttime gaming. This is going to be great. I didn't know what I wanted to play at that point. I'm like, I beat all the Resistance games finally, and I'm not in an RPG mode because I've had a massive headache, and I didn't want a game where I'd have to do a lot of thinking. And so I was like, okay, because I have a couple of RPGs that I'm like in the middle of, and I kind of sidelined those for now. I'm like, not right now. I don't want to think. And Borderlands 2, I got kind of stuck on because I really like playing as not Tiny Tina, the Mechromancer. But she's also extremely squishy. And so, yeah, I just kind of got stuck at a couple of parts, and I was like, I'll come back to this later. And I was like, I could start 3, but I was playing that with Freak, and then I was like, so. And then also I had to, I installed Genshin Impact on my computer so I could play with my daughter. But that game is huge and it took up a lot of space, and I have very kind of limited amount of space for game files.
Right.
And so I've got like, I don't know, 5 games maybe I can have on my machine at a time. And so I was like, I had to delete a couple games off. Like I don't have 7 Days or I had to take off Alan Wake, and I had to take off a few games to be able to fit Genshin on. And so now I'm like, I'm just kind of stuck. I was going through my PlayStation Plus. I was like, okay, what's something I can stream without having to install? And eventually I just deleted off Borderlands 2 for now, and I'll just pick up my save file later.
I keep forgetting, man. We got to get you a larger drive so you can get all your stuff in there.
But what I did end up making room for with deleting Borderlands is I ended up putting on the Resident Evil 2 remake I've been wanting to play. And man, I have been having a blast with that now that I finally settled on a game to play.
Nice.
You guys ever know that feeling? You've got like, my shelves are overflowing with games right now and I don't know what to play. So that's why I ended up settling on was Resident Evil 2 remake. And yeah, that's been really awesome. I have no idea how far along I am right now, but I've gotten, I did the first mission. It's like you got to find 3 seals to open a hidden doorway in a statue to sneak out of the main area of the police station, which I've done that. But I was like, oh, well, this seems a little anticlimactic because there's a couple of secret keys that I never got, but apparently I'm leaving the police station. I started to leave and they're like, you thought you were leaving the police station, and so now I'm back into it for a second time. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Nice. And I had one more pork chop I wanted to bring up.
Pork chop.
Oh, okay. I'm like a bunch of years late to this, but I had never heard Falling in Reverse before. And while I was painting the other night, my YouTube mix on my YouTube music mix, added them to a list I was listening to, and especially the newer stuff, their remake stuff like the Drug and You Reimagined and the revamped for I'm Not a Vampire. Oh my god, they blew my mind. I was like, this is so good. And I'm like, does anybody else like this? This, Falling in Reverse? And they're like, wow, that was like 10 years ago, bro. Where you did? And I was like, oh, I'd never heard of before. This is so good. Admittedly, I'd like their newer stuff because it's got a little more of a epic kind of music sound, whereas their earlier stuff was more like a Teenage Ink kind of sound. But which I still like. I do like the emo scene. But yeah, their more recent stuff has just been like.
Hang on, Zoom is crashing on me, guys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hang on. See if I can get it to. It won't kick us because we're still streaming. So,
Right.
I'll have to probably just restart it. Damn it.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Okay.
Let's just close it. God dang it! It is just hosing.
Hello? Yeah. I don't know, man. Methos was talking mad crap. What? This mother trucker.
We're getting it, guys. Hang on. It's probably ran to the bathroom. I ain't good at time to go pee. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it back. Let me, before I do, because I don't want the friggin' crazy music to kick on. So, mega. There we go. All right. There we go. We are back. All right, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Friggin' Zoom decided to just take a massive dump on me, and like, of course it would happen. I was messing with my damn camera. So I didn't like my camera adjustment, so it's just like, nope, had enough of that crap. But we're back.
All right. Also, it's always got to go back to the bathroom, doesn't it?
Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What? Why? What? Oh, crap. Oh.
Oh, just our technical difficulties. They're a big steaming pile of crap.
Well, they were. Running Bear, what's happening? What's up? How you doing? What's cracking? What's that?
Superfly! What up, baby?
What's up, man?
All right, so I guess we should get to our big discussion.
Yeah. So originally, and we're still going to be talking about that. So originally, we had the Magic the Gathering, the whole cards thing, which I think is pretty cool. Now they're Warhammer Magic Gathering cards, freaking amazing. But before we get into that, it's so funny. I was on my way home, and I was like, you know what? I need to do some, looks things up, see what's going on in the world of the Warhammer. And I found something very interesting. I found a couple articles that kind of like, ooh, wait a minute. Was Methos right?
Actually, I brought it up a couple of days ago saying that they were banned.
Hey, look. There's nothing that nobody can hear you because my basement is padded. So nice try. I know you're like, hey, you guys listen to me. Doesn't work.
I heard you, Oni.
Appreciate you.
You're my walls.
And that's why I am going to save you tomorrow in our games.
Yes.
Oh, I can see where this crap is going. Anyway, so I thought it was kind of interesting that we saw a couple of articles and a couple of videos talking about League of Votan and how some countries right now, primarily Germany,
and some parts of Canada.
Right? And there's some other countries unnamed that are planning to ban tournament play for League of Votan because they were just ridiculously OP. I thought it was kind of interesting with that because at first I was thinking, this sounds like BS to me. It's like, surely it's not going to be that crazy. Then I start, I don't really think that needs to be up there. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so then I started looking around, started doing more research, and sure enough, yeah, it actually happened. So
you said, man, Oni was right.
Oh God, no, that never came out of my mouth. So I immediately called Methos and says, so have you been up on the news? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, yeah, Germany and a few other have decided they're going to go ahead and just on the tournament scene. I'm thinking this is interesting. It's very similar to what we were talking about the last time when we were actually, showcasing League of Legends here on the show, and how we weren't taking a dump on the models or on the game or on the army or anything. It was just how extremely strong they were and how
or anyone that wants to play.
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Heck, we want to play.
Yeah, yeah. And so we were thinking, because remember the first thing that was coming out of our mouth was like, hey, I really would like to play him, but I don't want to be that guy, and nobody wants to turn on and play.
I don't mind being that guy.
Oh yeah, of course. You. That's why you're in the basement anyway. So the thing is, it just really struck me really interestingly how Germany, of all places, they were just like, hell no, we're not going to allow tournament play for this. I've got mixed feelings about them. I really feel like, I don't know if that's really the way to go. I've read kind of the pros and the cons on as to whether they should or shouldn't. The thing is, they haven't had any play yet, and that's what's crazy about it, is that they've not been played yet. Also, the GW has canceled contracts with playtesters, so they didn't even have a chance to do that. So go figure. Which I kind of thought that was a little weird. Why would you cancel your playtesters?
They canceled their playtesters because it was their playtesters base that kept leaking stats and codices and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't know how to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I found it interesting that they
adding to your comment that there haven't been any playthroughs with them.
Yeah.
There has been, play on tabletop.
Right. Oh no. Right.
Tactics.
Yes, they have, and also they've been playing on what do you call it? Tabletop simulator. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. Tabletop simulator with the current rules, and it's just been absolutely nightmarishly strong. So
even on tabletop, not tabletop. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now seeing Angry Oni. Oh no.
Was it a stack of cards?
Oh God, I hope it's not. I hope it wasn't. Oh geez, I hope it wasn't. No, he either spilled something or he dropped the cards all over the place. Which one was it, Oni?
He's muted now.
Yeah, he's muted. Yeah, he's not feeling. Anyway, so I thought it was really an interesting thing. It's like, and so again, I began reading and listening to the pros to banning the game or banning the army prior to an FAQ, and then the cons of doing so. And I can understand both sides. I can appreciate both sides. I personally don't have a stand either way.
Yeah, we're not competitive gamers, so it's not gonna matter to us.
Exactly. So we're not tournament players, and from my view, I think it would be better if you would just let them play, and then go from there. Again, this is just like not even a handful of countries yet, but it is very apparent that it's such a strong army that these countries are or have considered to go ahead and cancel or ban these armies prior to an FAQ. Again, I personally don't think that is the way to go, but the fact that it is happening kind of gives you an idea of how ridiculously strong the armies are and their rules. So it's the very things that we were talking about, I thought it was hilarious. It's like, this is kind of what Methos was talking about. Was he? Didn't he?
Let's see. Keegan says, come back. Can you talk about the Votan tournament bans? Superfly says, I don't think they should ban the Codex simply because they'll nerf it before the combat patrol box comes out. I'm going to disagree with you there. Not on I don't think they should ban it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have as Freak was saying, don't play the competitive scene, so it doesn't really matter to us either way. But I disagree on the part that you think they'll nerf it before the combat patrol box comes out, simply because the strength of the codex is sales based.
That's
right?
exactly right. Yep.
Because the Votan army is
Welcome
a
back.
whole new range of miniatures that people don't have yet. Their entire existing customer base doesn't have the Leagues of Votan. Whereas Imperial Guard will have new models, but they'll have all the old Imperial Guard models. The World Eaters are coming out.
Right.
And there will be new World Eater models, but lots of people have all the old World Eater models, all the old Chaos models. But
yes,
Leagues of Votan are an entire line that nobody has yet. Sure, some people may have old school squads, but they don't specifically have the Hearthkin weapons. Yeah. The things that make it Leagues of Votan versus the old school squads. And so since it's an entirely new customer, if you think about it in sales term, it's an entire your entire customer base has wallets that hasn't touched this product yet, you know.
Considering the cost for retooling everything in order to be able to form these models. And
they got to pay for new sculpts, new molds.
Right.
You know, all the new production stuff, the artwork that goes on the boxes, the commission fees they have to pay the painters to put the artwork in the boxes and on the instructions and stuff like that. They got to make their money back.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say I would agree with Keegan, but go ahead.
So I think we're not going to see a nerf for them for, I would estimate myself, until the new year. Because if you think about it, the box, if we look at the history so far with like the Sisters of Battle, when they first came out for the first time in 20 years, like there was the standalone box that came out. And at first it was the only way to get the codex, right? And then during a wave 2 of sales, then like the additional models came out and the codex came out and you kind of got trickled new stuff, right?
Right.
And so they're not going to want to put out this first box and then before the codex even goes live for general consumption, they're not going to go ahead and nerf it before the general populace.
They would be shooting themselves in the foot if they did that. I mean, that doesn't really, it's not productive.
So there's special edition, there's going to be a pause, there's going to be general release, and then they're not going to just, you know how a movie theater counts their box office sales from the first weekend of release, right? That's when they kind of count their sales.
Yeah.
GW doesn't do that, right?
Right.
They don't just sell for a week and say, okay, guys, I think we've made enough money on this. They're going to want several weeks, at least 6 weeks of general release before they feel comfortable with their sales to make any rules changes. So I think these rules are going to be very strong, like I said, at least until the new year. And that's, of course, considering if they don't react to what the tournament organizers are doing.
Right.
Now, tournament players have pull in our community. Because if you look, all the constant balance changes that GW makes, the constant putting out new codexes, new FAQs, new the seasonal books like geez, I can't even remember any of the recent what are we playing now? The Nephilim.
Yes.
Yeah, the season books like Nephilim and stuff like that. All those really cater to the competitive scene. Now, we've seen them react to the competitive scene lately with Warzone Nephilim and stuff like that, where, you know, the tournament some of the tournament organizers took that new GW rule about the 2-inch engagement ring against a wall.
Yep.
And they like, this is going to fix. And they ended up making more problems with that fix. And so some of the tournaments say,
they stopped using it.
Yeah, we're not going to do that no more. Yep. And now GW has officially gone back and said, okay, guys, no more use of that rule. So
they walked it back.
The tournament scene had a lot of pull there to change the rules of GW. So I think the only way we'll see a nerf before then is if GW looks at these tournament bans and says, all right, guys, I think at this point it might actually hurt our sales for them to be too strong.
Right.
You know, because that might hurt. Where if a lot of people were looking to spend the $200 for Leagues of Votan,
Right.
but then they find out, oh well, I can't use it at tournaments. Well, I guess I'm not going to buy it. That's making people what is the phrase you used to like to use a lot? Vote with your dollars. Right. So because some people, because they won't be able to take that army to a tournament, they're not going to spend the $200. And if you think $200 is a good chunk of money,
Yeah.
so every person that makes that decision is effectively cutting into GW's profits. So,
Right.
yeah, I think this action by tournaments, the tournaments might be the only thing that will force a nerf before then. But I think off just money alone, I don't anticipate one coming before January.
So let's clarify what this ban is doing. This is not, them banning the purchases or the manufacturer of any kind. This is just banning the gameplay at tournaments for that particular army. That's all it is. So it's not going to keep you from being able to obtain or anything like that. It's just, again. And in those particular countries, specifically Germany right now, because that's the big hot one right now. That is the country that said, hey, you know what? Hell no, we're not going to have them play. We think they're ridiculously OP, and no.
Germany and Canada right now.
So it's the reason why I think it's a very good talking point is because it apparently is an issue. It is an issue. It is something that we have to talk about because it's being brought to the forefront due to how extremely strong this army is. Do I agree with it? I don't. I personally don't. But like what Methos says, if nobody says or does anything, GW will not do anything. GW will never listen to me, right? GW doesn't really care about our channel and what we think about anything. We're like, we're just a speck on the fly's booty, I mean, we are.
Shit. I've been trying to tag them on Instagram, trying to get some of my art shown off in their live stream for, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Senpai doesn't have time for me. So. Almost all of our Chilling Network friends have been tagged by Senpai, but not us.
So it is an interesting turn of events. I don't know if it's going to be effective. I think it will be if more countries start lining up, which is very possible. It is very, very possible they may actually take on to the lead with what Germany's doing. And so if it actually catches on here in the States, England, the UK, any of those, anywhere in Europe, that could really put a major, major damper on sales overall. I mean, think about it. It wouldn't do anything for the casual player like us, except that nobody would want to play it. It's like, again, that very thing that I was saying last time we were talking about it. It's like you're kind of like, you got all your toys, you got everything. All right, who wants to play me? Cricket, anybody? I got my new army. I want to try them out.
Oh man, in 7th edition when knights were super strong.
Oh my gosh.
We had a friend that would come to the shop with like 32 knights. All right, who wants to play? Just a random pickup game. It would sometimes get super quiet in the store.
Crazy.
I'm going to address a couple of these just because I don't want anyone to feel like we're neglecting them.
Yeah.
They do seem very powerful, but there have been several battle reports of 2,000 points where they're losing. I don't disagree. I mean, I agree that this is a new army, and whether or not they're strong, and I'm not even going to argue with you that whether or not they're too strong at the moment, but I'm sure there will be some variance because, a couple of boxes going out to YouTube channels, they're still learning how to pilot them. They still have them before the official release, so they're still going to be picking up on the tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So I don't doubt that there isn't. And also, I mean, there is the possibility, that, I mean, we don't know how, what's the best way to say it? Okay, I'm going to use it like a video game example. When you have a closed test of who can play whatnot, you'll never find all the bugs as when it goes out to the masses, right? And so those battle reports on, what was it, Tabletop Titans, and what was the other one? Oni.
Tabletop Tactics
and Tabletop Tactics.
and Play on Tabletop.
Play on Tabletop and Vanguard Tactics. That's the other one. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we got a couple of battle reports. It has gone both ways.
They didn't play full 2,000 point games because they didn't have enough for a 2,000 point game.
Right.
So they played whatever points they had for the starter box.
Right. Yeah. But
I don't know how much that is.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's probably some both ways. I don't disagree there. But what I am saying is that according to these articles, and I think this also kind of addresses your comment, Keegan, where I felt as if it was someone throwing a fit in the tournament groups. So instead of just a knee-jerk reaction or somebody throwing a fit, before they started these bans, actually, so these people that run the tournaments, these tournament organizers actually got together, and some of them did tournaments with Tabletop Simulator using the leaked codex,
right?
And some of them got together and played in-person games using proxy models to represent the units in there. And with their test tournaments, that's why they made the decision. So it wasn't just like, well, people are complaining.
Right, that wasn't, yeah.
They actually, because GW didn't have any on payroll play testers, these tournament organizers took it upon themselves to take the leaked codex and do full-on tournaments play testing, and they felt that it was not balanced in those tests that they did.
Right.
Heinrich says, "Ya bad."
Again, I mean, the question is should they not ban them? I really don't, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, we're not speaking for. I know it sounds like because we were on here complaining the other week.
Right.
It's not that we're for the ban because we don't play tournaments. It honestly doesn't affect us.
It doesn't affect, right. We brought it to the attention. It's like, okay, guys, we got a feeling that this is gonna be an issue. That's what we've said. It's gonna be an issue. Something's gonna happen. And then here you go. And now it's actually happening. They're reacting. I don't think it's knee jerking. I think it is a very logical. It's the same reaction we had, after seeing the rules, and we haven't even played it. They're actually doing their own test playing, and then they came to the conclusion that they feel that it was just ridiculous. Again, I feel that they should go ahead and just let the community dictate that. That's just my thought. Not just tournament. Let the community really get knee deep in it, and then go from there. But again, it is what it is. That's not our environment, not our arena. We don't do tournament. We could not care any less. But it's just very interesting that that's occurred because of how strong and powerful these this army is, and how very likely people are not going to want to play people with legal 10 at the current list. Again, we'll see. Let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. But I thought it was a very interesting move from these tournaments, tournament leaders to actually do these things. Running Bear says same reaction was had before Eldar came out, but they did not ban. Why I say what I am. Yeah, I totally understand that, but I don't know if Eldar were as OP when they came out like League of Votan are. I don't know. I don't know. Again, do I agree with it? I probably don't. I don't.
I can understand why, because I'm looking at Keegan's comment.
Yeah.
I could see if they, I could understand if the ban was a year or so after they came out. Well, what the problem you have there is where a lot of people have a problem the way they didn't react to Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar, it came out, and a lot of people feel like they didn't move on Dark Eldar fast enough, and It came out and it was very strong, and it stayed at virtually uncontested at the very top of the meta for almost a year. I think it was more like 9 months or something like that, but almost a year. Yeah. And people felt like, oh well, and there was the opposite situation. In that case, they waited almost a year before, before taking action and bringing them back into line. And in this situation, some of the tournaments don't want it to get to that point. They don't want a year of,
they're being proactive.
They're trying to be proactive. So I can understand. I think the outrage will almost force GW FAQ it in short order, because if meta chasers can't play at a tourney, then they will not sell as much.
That is kind of where that seems to be going.
Yeah. And that's why I said that might be the only thing that gets it nerfed before the new year.
Yeah, and I can see an FAQ, pretty soon, especially since this is kind of big, and from my understanding, Germany is a big demographic as well for Warhammer. So we'll see. I'm curious. I'm curious to see where this will, where this will go.
Because this is. I'm not going to say unprecedented, but there is very little precedence for this. Yeah. I mean, we've seen tournaments plenty of them that say there's a restriction of, we'll ban Forge World at this tournament. We'll ban, before the GW rule came out, some were banning multiple sub-factions at tournaments and stuff like that, which, again, was another situation where GW came back and said, you know what, we're going to do this all the way. Nobody can have multiple sub-factions.
Right.
And it's an interesting thing, because with this lack of precedence here, I mean, they may change, but it's hard to say, because I think this is the first time we're seeing an entire faction be banned. So, I mean, it's hard to say what GW is going to do.
Yeah.
I do think that this is a good segue, because this topic is very similar to what we've been talking about. Shout out to Brother Superfly there in the chat. And shout out to this link here that takes you to Glacial Geek. Superfly shared this video with his Nerd Harbor over on Facebook. If you're interested in joining a community of hobbyists that are focused all across the hobby, such as D&D, terrain making, miniature doing, what's it called? The cars and planes and stuff like that. Scale miniatures. If you're interested in any of that, go check out our brother Superfly running Nerd Harbor on Facebook. But he likes to put on a lot of terrain or hobby tips, but also thought-provoking stuff about the hobby. And he put up this video that I just linked from Phil, the Glacial Geek, and it was, "Is Warhammer pay to win?" And I thought that kind of plays into some of what we're talking about. Ooh. Big Mac Danskull, good morning, you sexy bearded beast.
I mean, isn't any tabletop game pay to win?
Well, I mean, allegedly, some games are more balanced than others. I hear that currently, the Song of Ice and Fire game is very balanced, but I also hear that the new faction coming out for Dorn is supposed to be a little less balanced. So I don't know what to think.
Yeah. Running Bear, I totally agree. I would not dissuade anyone from getting their stuff, man. And I really wish you would. Because honestly, really, if the more people play it and get an understanding of the game, there will be balance. One way or another, it's going to happen. All right? There's going to be some weakness that is going to be brought on, whether we like it or not. It has to be, because you just can't have 100%. I know I'm exaggerating, but you're seeing more of 100% OP-ness of an army, and you're going to have to break them just slightly in order for it to be playable. So,
and I feel like we can't stress enough that we want to paint and play Votan.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're not anti-Votan with this discussion.
Yep. I mean, we said it multiple times in the last video. So it's like, I love the models. I think they're beautiful.
They look great. Yeah.
Gorgeous. I love their vehicles. I like them.
So
not
go
the
ahead.
guy that's gonna play him. Nope. If Running Bear, you came to me, all right, play me. No. I mean, I mean, just for kicks and giggles, I shake your hand. All right, you're one. Congratulations. Yay!
That's currently what I've been doing with Tau since 7th edition.
Yeah, I was like, and then we'll go out and have a pizza or something. Like, all right, you win. How's your win, man? Mine sucked. So I know you kicked my ass. We didn't even play.
So a couple of points Phil brought up, and I think, while I may not agree with his overall answer, I feel like he made a lot of great points in the video. And like I said, I linked it because I think it is definitely worth a watch. It is definitely very thought-provoking material, and he obviously put some very good thought into this. But I think he's right. GW has come a long way with coming away from pay-to-win to a degree. If you think about when we first got into the hobby, Forge World was very much considered pay-to-win, and the models were like, triple the cost, sometimes more, sometimes less. Of a similar model you would get from GW, but the Forge World rules were incredible. They sold a lot of models that way. But by paying for the more expensive resin from Forge World, you got incredible rules that were, that felt at the time a good bit of pay to win possibly. And now a lot more is coming away from Forge World, and a lot of it's getting converted to plastic, taking a look at the Leviathan, the Contemptor, and those that are getting transferred over kind of still have the good rules. Don't get me wrong, the Sikaran is still great and stuff like that, but a lot of the Forge World stuff is not as strong as their plastic counterparts anymore. A good example is if you look at the Knights. Okay, they brought out the new plastic, Castellan Knight, the Valiant, what is it, a Dominus class Knight they're called. And they are bucket loads stronger than the Forge World Knights used to be king.
Right.
The what are they called? The Cerastus Knights. The Cerastus Knights, the Forge World Knights used to be amazing. Now they're okay.
Right.
I still like what they do on the battlefield. I love my Atropos, but they're definitely. I play the Atropos, loving it and knowing that if it were a Castellan or a Valiant, it'd probably do more damage.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, because of the way the Forge World Knights haven't even been given the same keywords and stuff like that as the Plastic Knights, the GW Knights, they're actually, they may have okay stats, but they're actually less effective because you can't make any kind of synergy with them or anything like that. You can't use stratagems with them. So they're pretty interesting. But yeah, so they're coming away from giving a lot of the power to Forge World and stuff like that. And I have seen reports from, let me cite a couple sources, Auspic Tactics, Morty and Glory. What's that? We were just looking at their article earlier tonight.
Bella Lost Souls.
Bella Lost Souls.
Yeah.
A lot of them agree that while we're not perfectly balanced, Warhammer at the moment, after Nephilim, is in the most balanced place it's been at in years. And so you can definitely see that pay to win element. We've come a long way from that. However, so whereas he kind of ends his conversation there and says, yeah, so I don't think it is pay to win anymore. Now I feel like, okay, to a point we are better than we used to be. That's been updated this week. It's still not all of them, but it has gone from just a handful of tournaments in Journey to the majority of them in Germany now. So what happened is it started with a couple of tournaments, and it's kind of catching on in Germany. But what was I saying? Oh, what? Right. So while it's gotten better, it's still, it's still a little bit of that element is there. When the new codexes come out, there is a window where the newest codex is on top, right?
Right.
I mean, let's look at who's on top right now. Tyranids.
Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos is doing well, but but Tyranids came out, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching in any way. Tyranids needed the love after years and years and years of
a lot of neglect, really.
Neglect, yeah. So Tyranids needed love, but I'm just saying, Tyranids came out, boom, they were the new hotness. And there's a lot of that element of what's performing well now, the newest hotness. And now I think we're in that same kind of boat with the Leagues of Votann. And going back to what we were saying earlier, because it's brand new, nobody has this product. It's got more of that new hotness kind of feel. And I think that's why it's so strong. So, because the new hotness is always the strongest, that codex creep that they talk about, I think, there is a pay to win element, because if you look at what some of these tournament players do, they change armies every 2 months because whatever new codex came out that was strong, they shelf, their old army and they start playing that army.
Oh, they don't shelf them; they sell them.
Well, I mean, yeah, some shelf them, some sell them.
Where do you think all those eBay auctions come from?
It's true. It's true. So yeah, I mean, some people, pay to win by getting full new armies whenever a new codex is released. So yeah, that element doesn't go away. There, I mean, is everybody going to want to shell out on however much a brand new army is every time a new tournament comes out? Of course not. But is the element there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there.
It's an interesting dynamic, and for us, it's just curious to see, just to actually watch it. Again, we're not here to take a dump on it. It's just an observation, and we just find it quite interesting that this is happening, even after we talked about it the last time. When we said, "Oh, hey, I'm not sure if I want to play against somebody with these rules," and that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. There are more and more people realizing, well, I'm not sure it really is a good idea to play against them. So, but again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what GW will respond, to what's going on. We'll see if other countries will follow suit. And do the same thing. It is an interesting dynamic, and a lot of things can change. We'll see if maybe GW decides to FAQ the hell out of it really quick before. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't personally. I think they're going to wait because, like you mentioned, Methos. I really think that they really want to get these out and get them sold and get them really. They might nerf something here and there. I really think it's going to stay pretty strong for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm curious. Hey, it's anybody's game right now.
But it'll be interesting to see, because either way, I mean, for us, it's more of a...
I'll actually be picking up my box either tomorrow after our gaming session is done, or Sunday.
Okay.
But it's going to go in the closet, because I need to finish you guys' stuff first. I need to stop getting distracted.
Yeah, you do.
I need to stop getting distracted.
Yeah, I'm looking at 2023 next year. I think that's when I'm gonna.
What was that? Army number 13?
Oh God.
Did I tell you guys? I mean, I know I told you directly. But it was like last weekend or the weekend before. I was my oldest daughter and my wife were sitting on the couch, and we were all watching something together, and we were talking about Warhammer, and they were talking about one of my armies, and just randomly, out of nowhere, my wife goes, they were talking about, oh, I've got this army, and my wife turns to me and says, "How many armies do you have, honey?" You guys know the meme where Jordan Peele from Key and Peele just sweating bullets. Yeah. But then they started going through, and honestly, while I was sweating a little bit. The
first TikTok I come across is him showcasing his gazillion army.
Did you hear the music that went with it?
Got caught red-handed.
Oh no! Well, we don't want to get.
No, I know this is the first thing.
Oh yeah, well we can. It's only 15 seconds. I made sure exactly to put 15 seconds. It's
That's awesome. That's ridiculous, man. Oh my god.
you wanna pull it up on the main screen?
I don't have it on here. I'd have
Oh,
to...
it's on our YouTube Shorts channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me see. That is funny. God. Let's see here.
But yeah, I was actually a proud husband / father on our YouTube Shorts channel. They were actually going through and pretty accurately naming them when they were like trying to count up.
That's funny. Okay, there it is.
GW have always made any new army or army redo OP so people buy them. That's why 40K will never be fully balanced between all the forces. They went a little over the top even for them, though, with the squats. Agreed, and welcome to the chat, Mr. Dodge. My brother, how you been? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Warhammer's not the only tabletop game that I play.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let me see if this works.
I think I've showed you guys the newest game system that I've got into.
Hi, my name is Ronnie. I'm in Alex.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here it is.
Daddy should have never
Oh, it's not
placed
gonna
me
play.
on Black Sabbath. I'm insane. Well, I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, they blocked
My
it.
name
Oh, wait,
is
no, it's playing.
Ronnie. I'm an addict.
They should be blocked because I pulled the audio.
Yeah. No, it's
They're,
there is some blocking, though.
I'm insane. Well, I can feel it in my bones. Hi, my name is Ronnie. I'm an addict.
That is so funny.
Daddy should have
Anyway, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, here Methos talking about his gazillion freaking armies, and I pulled up TikTok, and sure enough,
Hi, Ronnie.
oh my gosh, that's epic. So yeah, no, he does not have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, not at all.
I'm the one that has
Oh
problems.
no, you do have problems. So many problems.
He says, how are my favorite peeps from our most rebellious colony?
Wow.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh no, it's not.
We somehow are more rebellious than the colony started from literal shipfuls of criminals.
Very much, yeah.
We probably have more criminals too. We're doing well, brother. We're doing well. And that's your point is exactly what we were saying, my brother. They got to make that money back.
Yep. It's all about the dollar and cents. All about the dollar and cents.
Which, you know, no hate. They a business.
Yep, it's a company, and they're in business to be in business. So, and they got a marketing team, you know what they're doing. So, anywho.
All right, so we got a couple other articles we're going to take a look at tonight.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let us see here.
2023, though, will be my sisters and my potentially Space Dwarves.
Yes. Let's see.
That is a snug fit.
Got my first game of 1,000 points of Space Wolves in a very long time, so I'm in a good mood. How did you do, my brother? Remember, we talked a little bit about your list beforehand.
I swear, almost, I thought I heard you say frijoles.
We talked about your list, frijoles.
Right? That's exactly
What
what I
are
heard.
list beans?
I was like, yeah, man. Are they
Frijoles
black?
where?
Yeah, are they black frijoles? Because those are good. I can go for some black pre-fried frijoles, man. Okay. Almost there, fellas. And then last one. On, bring your... Okay.
One in round 3. That sounds like a pretty strong victory, brother.
Okay, here we go.
35 years shows GW will always give the dollar first place. That's true, but I think that's also why they're surviving 35 years later.
Yes, sir.
We've seen, unfortunately, especially in the last couple years, some troubling times have come around, and we've seen, unfortunately, a few hobby companies we've all gotten comfortable with, unfortunately have to close up shop.
Yeah.
But don't you know, baby, GW still standing better than ever did.
All right. Celebrate Warhammer Day with an exclusive miniature, a painting competition, and more.
And more? Tell me more.
Tell me more, tell me.
Oh, sorry. Warhammer Day. Warhammer Day is the global celebration of your favorite hobby, and this year it's extra special as we commemorate the 35th anniversary of Warhammer 40,000. We'll take a nostalgic look back to see what's made the grim darkness of the far future the setting that it is today, and look forward to what's coming next. The last 35 years haven't just been filled with awesome games of Warhammer 40,000 and building and painting incredible miniatures. It's seen the creation of an entire universe. We've loved watching it grow, and we've been inspired by the hobby you've enjoyed in this shared world. Such an epic setting deserves an equally epic birthday, so this year's Warhammer Day, on the 8th of October, will be dedicated to Warhammer 40k. This will also be your first chance to pre-order the stunning commemorative miniature released as part of the celebration. Dum dum dum! Entitled Bayard's Revenge, this astounding model features an emperor's champion triumphing over a mighty orc knob. It's an incredible miniature to add to your collection, an amazing painting challenge, or a splendid centerpiece for Black Templar's force. And what's more, it's based on an iconic piece of Warhammer 40k artwork. You'll be able to pre-order blah 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 blah. Yeah, you better get it there. Let's see.
You be able to what?
Yes, pre-order it. Looks like you'll be able to pre-order this incredible duel from the 8th of October from the Games Workshop website, or you can pick it up from your local Warhammer store between the 15th and the 23rd.
Brett Thomas says, I've got 2 boys that both want that model. I guess it's time to start a GoFundMe.
If you want to mark this momentous occasion yourself by painting up some miniatures inspired by Warhammer 40k's 35 years history, we'd love to see them. How about doing a new kit painted up in a classic style, such as a Space Marines Intercessor with a bright red gun casing and a green-rimmed base? Or perhaps recreate an iconic piece of artwork, such as the cover of a classic box set or codex. Share your progress on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Oh, speaking of, I thought it was pretty cool. I've never shared this. I have a friend of mine who gave me an old... Let me grab that. Hold on a second, because I thought that was pretty cool.
Adam Dodge says, what if we plan to pay rent in October?
You can forget about that.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Big Mech says, that mini needs a reposing with an orc popping the champion's head with his power claw. Wah!
I am done.
With all the sleeves?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now I gotta look at the cards that fell.
Let's see here. So I thought it was pretty cool. I'm just gonna do a little. So he was like, "Hey man, I had these books and these models in my attic, and I want you to have them." I'm like, "Okay, sure. What is it?" He said, "You play Warhammer?" I said, "Yeah. Well, I just want you to have these. I think they'd go to a better home." Okay, and it blew me away. Look at this.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like,
Got some.
it's excellent condition.
Confirmed Freak 3rd Space Marine Army?
It's an old Ultramarines, 1995.
I'm sorry, 4th.
Fourth, yes. So 1995 Codex. I think that is really cool. It's like, okay, that is really neat. And then he gave me this other one. Again, I like it for the nostalgia. I love older games, and so look at this. Eldar.
Freak Space Elves confirmed?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it is not. But it is amazing artwork. This I really got a kick out of this.
All right, everybody, drop us in the comments what color you think Freak should paint his Eldar.
It's so funny because a lot of the artwork here reminds me of the older style D&D booklets that you used to get, very similarly. So I was like, oh, this is neat. You even have the war gear cards, and it's like, wow, look at that. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Never really got to see those antiquated books, and of course, he gave me a couple of the models to boot. And I'll tell you what, these weigh a freaking ton. It's like, really? Pewter. It's like, good Lord. I mean, if I throw this at somebody, I will murder them. I mean, an old tech Marine. Look at this guy. Dude. I mean, wait, I think it's lead. I don't think that's pewter. And then here somewhere, there's a metal dreadnought.
You just knock somebody out with
it. Pretty much.
Want to know if it's lead or pewter? Just take a nibble out of it. And,
see what happens, right? Yeah, I should just go ahead and stick it under my tongue for a while and just let the...
Running Bear says to paint your Eldar black with green marble. Simple paint scheme like that.
Yeah, why not?
It'll be no problem for you. You can probably airbrush in all of your each individual marble line.
Anyway, so anyway, I thought it was pretty cool because I kind of saw, like, if you look at some of the artwork that they have for the celebration, it kind of looks like, that artwork. So I thought it was pretty neat to see that. Anyway, so 35 years of 40K. Happy early birthday there, Warhammer. Anyway, thought it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
All right, next one is the Golden Demon winners. Share their top tips to up your painting game.
Being that all three of us tend to take pride on, making sure that we're always progressing forward with our painting ability, I thought this would be a good one for us to cover.
Indeed. Yeah, this is pretty good. First place, Warhammer 40K Squad 2014, Andy Wardle. Congratulations, Andy. Wherever you might be. Like you're actually watching this. Like you really care about them. Hey, yeah, those guys at Frosted Fizz just congratulated me. Woo! Slayer Sword winner 2014, Richard Gray.
Richard Gray, long considered one of the best in the world.
Yeah. And then
also Andy Wardle. I'm not taking anything.
No. And then Slayer Sword winner 2006, Albert Moreto Font. Gorgeous work. Yeah, let's bring that up to the forefront. There you go. If you like some orcs, there you go. I can't ever do it. Go ahead and do it. There you go. You have to have a lot of phlegm in your throat in order to do that right. So, pretty cool.
Very, very much so.
Very nice. Very cool indeed. Anyway, go check him out. You know, they got some stuff that he put on there. They kind of do a little interview.
Oh man, I really like the detail on the lips and the gums and stuff like that.
Oh, on the orc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty damn good. Pretty freaking cool. Let's see here.
Adam Dodge says, I'm excited for Wargames Atlantic Space Nam release later this month. I'll finally have Catachan minis not sculpted like extras from the wrong franchise. Oh yeah, our brother Atlas plays Cadians, and he is super hyped for the Space Nam sculpts. I was like, I sent them to him, and I was like, oh man, I thought you'd want to see this because you love Catachan, even though I know you've already got like 120 Catachan. He goes, oh man, but these sculpts are so much better than the GW ones. I'm like, yeah.
Oh god. All right.
What's a couple hundred more?
Keep talking to the lovely people. Me those. I gotta go pay. Right back.
All right, we're looking at I'm still like 2 minutes behind. So, okay, looks like we're looking at Gaz and Corsaro Khan here, and Sanguinius of all people. So I am going to go to. This is totally not on the fly. I'm going to click on same article so I can kind of get through. Take a look at what we're all looking at. Okay, so there was a Custodes army that was here from Albert Moreto Font. And I'm going to read through some of these tips that they have here, because that was what the article was. Tips from these Golden Demon winners. If you enjoy the model, good results are much more likely to occur, which I think is always a great great tip whenever we're choosing what we're going to paint anyways. The biggest advice I always hear, even on picking what army you're going to play, is start with what you like the looks of, because you're going to be more likely to, be willing to put in the time and effort to make something look good if you really like the look of it, right? That's why I play miniatures that have sometimes not great rules. I painted up 9 Thunderwolves when they were bad just because I love the model, and it's turned out to be some of my best work. Richard says the best advice I can give to new painters is not comparing your painting to Golden Demon entries. Oh my goodness. That is why we always talk about brush burning here on the show for sure. Try and use them as aspirational, something you might want to achieve later on, but never, of course, let that frustrate you on where you're at now. Be aware that those models have had hundreds of hours poured into them, not to mention thousands of hours of practice to get to that standard. That is really good advice. Andy also says the same thing as Albert. Just pick the models you like the look of. All that matters is that you like the figures you paint. Don't pay attention to what other people are doing. Just think about how you want your models to look. This will create a style of your own eventually. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with people who just want to paint the box art, and sometimes you can paint the box art and get phenomenal results. But I love seeing when people, just paint whatever comes to mind, and kind of paint to their own interpretation of how it should go. I found a local group that plays in a garage every Tuesday, about 10 players. Nice. How should painters prepare for their first shot at competitive level painting? Albert says, I think it's about mental framework. That's a big undertaking there. An advanced understanding of light, color, volume, atmosphere, composition, etc. is essential. Try to tell a story with your model, or make a conversion that makes your piece stand out from the others. At the end of the day, judges will have hundreds of models in front of them, so it's important to catch their eye. I think that's all fantastic advice. Something that will definitely make you memorable as opposed to everybody else. And then we've talked about on the show many times, especially since we had our brother, the Miniatures Paintbrush, on the show. He used that phrase on the show miniatures that tell a story, and that's something we try and talk about frequently when we're talking about people's artwork. Richard says, just go for it. It's been a while since I first tried, but I remember it being very daunting. There are sometimes competitions with the various events that Games Workshop runs. They're great for getting a taste of what Golden Demon is like. You'll find a lot of people entering that are in the same position as you. Andy, the nicest thing about painting competitions is that the community that attends them, that just turn up, enter a model you're proud of, and you're proud of, and enjoy the day. The more competitions you join, the more people you'll meet, and it becomes more than a competition. I think with this focus, you'll naturally get better anyway. Just seeing other miniatures and talking to other painters.
Who's saying all that?
Is both motivating, and educational.
Yo, mama.
The three painters whose work we've been looking at.
Oh.
I'm just reading off some of their tips
Oh,
here.
right.
As we and then I think this one's a good one. What's one tip or trick you wish you knew when you were starting? Albert, firstly, to thin down my paints. Common knowledge today, but as a child I would paint straight from the pot. And secondly, you use a wet palette when you can. Wet palette prevents paint from drying and makes working with acrylics easier. Richard, I wish I'd known that different paint consistency are useful for different things, and that there's not just one perfect paint consistency. Base coating, glazing, texturing, wet blending, dry brushing all require different types of paint consistency. It's good to not get stuck in your ways, not just focus on one technique or one consistency. It's good. And then Andy, when I got the hang of blending, using layering and some glazes to fix the mistake, I felt I could achieve whatever I wanted with the right amount of time. The most important thing for me is to apply the paint well to get a good finish. Once you have this, you can just focus on creation.
Nice.
Okay, well, I want to turn this back around on you and Oni as both people who are better painters than I am, and two painters that I would like to aspire to be like. What are some tips that you would give to people who want to improve their painting process?
Oni, I'll defer to you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, just pick a model that you really want to paint that really grabs your attention. Think about how you want to paint it, what color scheme, and then just go from there. And just do a lot of research on how you want to paint. On how you want to paint it. Like, doing like all the different techniques and whatnot. And when you're doing a competition piece, that's really not a good time to experiment. Different techniques. You pretty much want to use what you know.
Funny, I do that shit all the time. I'm always experimenting. It's like,
because I've entered a couple of painting competitions and I've won 2 of them and placed top 3 in 3 of them. I just pretty much just stuck with what I know and what I know I'm good at. Just stuck with that on the actual competition pieces. And usually whenever I pick a model that I want to paint, I usually buy multiple copies of the same one, just so I'll have my main one set off to the side already primed, and then the other ones, I'll use those for practice.
So play to your strengths is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll use those to experiment with. And once I know I'm good at that, then I'll put what I learned on the practice ones onto the main one.
Yeah.
Like with Radicart.
Yeah.
How I had that one copy that I gave to you.
Right.
That was gonna be my main one.
Okay.
And the one that I was actually painting, that was my practice, but I liked how that one came out, so I made that one my main one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Of course, most of the time, since I'm not like you, I'm not a baller, but I'm a baller on the budget. So I can, I'll do it on a different model. I'll, practice on a different model, and then I'll turn around and I'll do it on the model that I'm going to showcase or really going to.
Yeah, I'm not saying be like me and just shell out the money.
I mean, I got to be really drunk a lot, I guess. And then,
See, the thing with me it has to be the same model, or else I won't be able to transfer what I learned
Right.
onto that. That's just me. That's just how I am.
It's funny. Everybody has a different way of learning, or capturing a style or understanding. My thing is, I like to see how other people do it, and then I'll start comparing the different themes, the different color schemes that they'll put on the models. Like like we were talking about the boy. I thought, I was like, you know what? There's got to be somebody there that has some really cool, because it's already been done. I felt it's already been done, and I didn't find one particular one to my liking, but I did find, several had different things that I liked on it. So I incorporated a lot of those into this model, and I really enjoyed doing it. This was probably the most fun thing that I've ever painted. This was a hell of a challenge, which I gladly accepted because it was, dealing with skin tones.
Which you hate painting.
Oh yeah, I hated. Yeah, for a long time I just refused to do it. But honestly, and of course, trying to match tones. Since this was wood, this is a dead friggin' log, and so my thing was, okay, I need to be able to make this look like a real damn log. So trying to emulate as much of that as possible, and I think I do more of emulation. Yeah, and that's just gorgeous. I mean, the whole thing for me is to emulate it. Like, how close to realistic can I get it? So that's how I do it. And honestly, like you, I don't try to do something that. How do I word this? If I feel that I can do it, I'm gonna try it. I might not screw up, but if I have any chance of succeeding, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I'll probably jack it up, and I've done so, and I'm saying like, okay, this was a big freaking mistake, and I've had those, I don't see them as setbacks. I just kind of see them as learning opportunities, and I'm like, okay, well, hell, I guess I won't do that again.
Well, after you cool off.
After I cool, yeah, because I'm raging by then, Woo!
He's the one that won me first place on the big models.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really see it that well in this part.
Oh, sorry. Big ass bird. Nice. A lot of things too that I try to look into is like how
it's got a lot of dust and everything.
Is how does skin tone look in real life versus how I can make it look? You know what I mean? One of the first challenges that I ever had was my brother said, "Hey, I want to print these," and I think I shared this before. He wanted to print. He printed out 3D printed these hands that he wants, for Halloween. He wants to stick them in the ground that they look like they're just kind of coming through the ground. I thought it was great, and he wanted me to paint them. So how can I make those as realistic as possible? Make them ghoulish and fun. And that was the challenge, and I loved it. I absolutely loved that challenge 100% because it made me think, and I started thinking, okay, if I start to paint the skin tones first, I'm going to miss out on some of the subsurface colors, because as we know, flesh. There's multi-tones, right? Multi-colors. You have to understand what's underneath it, right? With your blood vessels that kind of give you that different coloring within your hands. Some areas are going to be dark, bluish, purplish, sometimes red, just depending on how close your veins are to your hands and all that stuff. My hand, right? You can see some areas that have spots of red, spots of white, and all that other. And I'm thinking, okay, how can I emulate that? How can I make that come to life onto an inanimate object, something that does not have blood, something that does not have flesh. You know, I'm like, how can I make it look like that? And that's the thing. That's the process that I have to think through. And that's when I started thinking, okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I need to paint the veins. And luckily, because the hand already had protruding veins through it, that's what I did. I painted the veins red, like a dark, rich red, and I just followed them through the entire hand and arm. And then I went back with the flesh color, and surprisingly, the color of the paint was translucent enough to still allow that red to come through, but it wasn't red anymore. It looks just like, you know, the bluish or the dark purplish veins on the hand. I was like, wow, that actually worked. You know, I didn't think it was gonna work. But I took a gamble. I took a hunch, and it actually worked. So, although not the neatest finish, batch painting with a paintball gun is incredibly quick. And I agree, and you know what? I do believe that there is only one person that actually does that with a paintball gun and is successful and is probably a Demon Award winner. Elstonation. That's another Elstonation fact for you guys. You are welcome.
I can see he does one of those old school ninja tricks where they throw knives into the air and then they put out things exactly where the knives are going to fall and then they fall into them. Elston does that. He just sprays a full clip of different colored paintball shots into the air. Then he sets out and takes his time arranging his miniatures exactly where he wants them, and the colors splash down, and then they come out perfectly.
Yep.
Perfectly Golden Demon ready.
Yeah. I think what he does is he shoots the paintballs in the air, then throws the model in the air, and then like they kind of hit each other, and the model falls down. There you go.
Quick draws, throws the model first.
And just starts shooting them. Model falls, picks it up. Golden Demon Award.
Just immediately just sets it down on a plinth for Golden Demon.
Yep. Right. Yep. I'm like, damn.
Mic drop or model drop.
Adam also says, I always play crap forces as I always go for armies and units I want to paint rather than what plays well. Orcs are love, orcs are life. Whoa, I agree, brother. I am always that way with what looks cool. Brother Atlas says, oops, wrong chat. I entered a painter's corner. Just jumping in for her a few moments. So you guys are awesome and have a great night. Thank you so much, brother. And we were just talking about you because Adam Dodge also wants to play the Space Nam as Catachans, and how you and I were talking about how they're the best Catachans. The thing you were mentioning, Oni, about how sometimes you buy duplicate models to get the practice you want on a competition piece. I don't remember who it was, but there was one competitive painter, and I can't remember who it was, and I apologize to whatever great lord did this, because I have CRS. It's very serious medical. But apparently there's a great painter, competitive level painter, for his competition pieces. I don't think it was an all the time thing. I think it was they did it one time. But like every day for a year to prepare for the competition, they took the same piece that they were going to paint for the competition, would paint it up, and as soon as they finished painting it, they would take a picture of it and then dump it into the drink to strip it again for the next day. And then they finish it, or they'd strip it, and then again start the process over again. Paint it up all the way like they were painting for, competition. Finish it, take a picture, dump it in the drink. and they just painted that same model over and over again every day for like a year.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but at the end they had learned so much from painting the same piece over and over and over again. They just had this phenomenal piece, and it wasn't even that they were doing repetition. It allowed them to experiment, it allowed them to try different lightings, different textures, different techniques and whatnot. And I mean, obviously, you know, they're pro level, not that they needed, you know, to experiment with techniques and stuff like that, but how those specific techniques would look on that exact model. I thought batch painting is best in the dark. It is when I'm doing it.
Nobody can see it. Not even me.
Oh man, I hate
I'm
batch
painting the
painting
walls.
so much. Oh, Atlas, brother. So you've seen my Crusaders, but we're going to go back to Cadia for a minute.
Yeah.
So I've been working on my 5 sergeants for my infantry squads, and actually that's focusing pretty decently. And yeah, they're coming out pretty well. The basing is done on them. They need some varnish, and I might have to clean up a detail or two, but for the most part, these are ready. The 5th one is almost ready, but I want to do a little mini tutorial for the base and the mud effects on the coat, because I've had a few people ask me how I do that. So just like I did with the Crusaders cloaks, I did the, you know, the kind of where the tanks have a 3-tone mud effect, I only did a 2-tone on the capes and the cloaks, but you know, smaller surface area on infantry.
You look great, man.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I figure with everybody marching through the swamps, they got to have a little bit of, you know, gunkiness on them.
It can be pristine, not always.
Yeah, and you know, and you've seen me come a long way on this journey, where almost everything I painted at the beginning was super clean, and I'm just gradually working in more and more dirtied up elements into. Well, I say gradually. My custodies are like super grimy.
Yeah, it gives it a type of I don't know character. Destination paints as quick as one of the Santa's elves, and he's also only 3'2". Oh, see, it's times like this when Elston just shows up out of nowhere. Hi guys. So you really think he's one of Santa's elves? Went rogue, maybe? He's like, screw it, Santa. I need to go paint for myself. You're not paying me enough. Gives Santa the finger, takes off, and starts painting Warhammer. Oh man.
So we had one elf that left because they wanted to be a dentist. And that started a rebellion where others left, and now one of them paints Warhammer. Paints Warhammer and randomly does IT. Also, I have to stop with this line of joking because I think Elston is like randomly like an inch taller than me. So I actually have no room in this conversation.
You're just putting yourself down.
Because I think Elston is 5'5" and I'm 5'4". So, yeah. I don't bring it up too much because I see how much crap they give Elston.
Like, you go get him, Elston. I'll stand here and stand him by the side and just, you get him. You go get him, buddy. I'll sit here on the side.
They look fantastic, brother. Have you showed the bases? I think they're so cool. Thank you so much, brother. I think I'm gonna do a little tutorial on that too.
All right. I'm done with all the sleeving.
Oh.
That is awesome.
So what happened? I'm curious. Did the cards
I don't
fall?
want to talk about it. That's what happened. I don't want to talk about it.
Cards fell. 51 pickup.
Think about the whole blue color debacle.
Oh no! Oh no!
Think about that.
Oh man, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as that, just because you were much calmer about turning off your camera.
I don't know.
Oh,
no.
I turned the camera. I actually turned the camera off a lot quicker this time than when I did. With the paint.
No, I
There
saw
was
it.
some words. There was some
No,
words.
and even when you came back, I saw it in your face. I'm like, oh shit.
It wasn't just the cards that fell.
Mm.
It was my dumb ass where I put the cards that caused it to fall.
Oh.
And then when I came back, I put the cards back where they fell. I was like, all right, let me just move those out of there.
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna have to let you read Adam Dodge's comments because, like I said,
Atlas gets it. He gets my painting advice.
He paints quickly because the air is more oxygenated at lower altitudes. There's some science to this.
See, Atlas gets me.
it's like, dude, just paint better. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Wow.
'cause earlier I was listening to y'all's painting advice, but all I heard was Oni saying, yeah, so first thing you do is pick up a color, then paint the model. Just paint better.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
That's what I was hearing too, because he was like, yeah, so
Megan!
you find a model, you take the model, you take the paint, you put the paint on the model, and that's it.
You get it too. You get it.
Nigga, your jacket
Man,
though.
I should be a motivational speaker.
Your jacket though.
It's 87 degrees out there. She doesn't need a jacket.
She's your jacket though.
You see, you put the color
know-
on there.
You
just
know,
need to put
in
it
your
better.
heart of hearts, she does not need that jacket. Oh.
Do
Reminds me when I was-
the Megan
when I was
voice. You do the
telling-
Megan voice so well.
When I was telling Methos how to do the when he was asking for advice on the skin tone, Methos just came around. So what you're saying is, be better at painting skin.
Be
Like,
better.
yeah, just
Don't be sorry. Be better.
yeah, just
You're choosing
put the paint on there.
his side. Who does
Put it on
that?
there better.
also, I loved and this is not me poking fun at you. This is like legit because sometimes when I'm following tutorials and they're using the very knowledgeable, terms and language and whatnot, I'm like, okay, me as a dumbass painter, what am I supposed to do again? Yeah, and I love how you just break it down for maybe those that aren't expert painters, and you're like,
Right.
yeah, don't let it pool because if you do that, it's gonna look weird, and you don't want weird. I'm like, okay, that's fair.
I want you to take this glass. I want you to take it to the back, and I want you to break it. I need you to bring me the biggest shard you can find.
I think on the skin tutorial I said when I got to the shade portion, I said just slather it on there like barbecue.
And I'm gonna slit your gullet.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, my salt pin is on my Warhammer backpack. My brother Razzie bought me a Warhammer Space Wolves backpack. It's what I carried my codices in.
You okay? You want a taco about it?
That was all Megan. Total Megan reference.
You want a taco about it?
I love tacos.
I like tacos.
Yep, I don't remember what the conversation was. If it was Tau or Primarch's,
Tacos.
something I was talking about and getting super salty. In the same week, brother Richard there from the Nerd Life bought me a pin that says salty,
Salty.
and then my wife bought me a T-shirt that said salty.
You're so salty and sexy.
I'm like,
Can I,
I feel
put
like
those two together?
the
Was
universe
it-
is trying to tell me a message.
Sexy.
Was it when they announced the Angon model?
Yes.
No, it was before that.
Oh, yes.
He's always salty.
Because you're really salty when they announced the Angon model.
Oh, God. Are you salty now?
It may have been when somebody swore that they saw a model for Fulgrim.
Hmm.
which turned out to be wrong.
Seriously, I don't have that one. Oh, come on! I thought I had that.
Well, it is your slug's worst nightmare. Only on specific topics. I'd like to think that most of the time I'm pretty positive.
His luck's worse. He likes to give him hugs, and they just kind of
Wither away.
yeah.
I want to hold you.
How
Come into my
Come
arms.
into my arms.
Let me hold you. Let me squeeze you.
By the way, the
Sounded
guys,
so
if
creepy.
anyone there is interested, the Nerd Life there in the chat is the guy. As the guy who does great painting commissions. What I tend to use him for the most is building commissions and freehand commissions, and he does some phenomenal work.
The guy can put some stuff together without any instructions. I don't know
Yeah,
how
he
he
can-
does it.
You can slap a whole army together before
Hell
blinking
yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like putting together big, complicated things, especially when parts aren't perfectly aligned. And I'm not trying to throw any salt this time, but there's certain models out there, certain brands, Forge World, that when you get them, they're not the straightest, and they don't always sit flush. And what I'm saying is, my big, complicated builds that don't have good instructions and stuff like, I just send them to Richard. I'm like, here's another commission for you, brother. And then he's done some amazing freehand on my stuff. Like, some of you have seen the free-handed wolf head that he did on my Imperial Knight. That's my warlord I usually take. And he did the Celtic knots on the breasts of my Space Wolf Leviathan Dreadnought. And so if you guys, salt's just another seasoning. So if you guys have any
Salt?
build, paint, hobby commissions, this is the guy. This guy has worked on has experience working on Titans. So this guy can put together the
Oh yeah,
best.
he can do it.
I'm gonna-
Puts the tights on the Titans.
I don't know why, but this big, bright, colorful thing usually straightens my
That's what
camera
she
out
said.
faster than.
Sure it
Faster
does,
than my
partner.
hand.
Yeah.
You're blurry now.
Right, it made it worse.
On my end, it looks crisper than it did a minute ago.
No.
But what are instructions? They're definitely not something I had when I got my Sakaran in.
Oh, for
I
real.
was like, why are there no instructions in this box? And I kid you not, guys, I pulled out the box, I pulled everything out, all the package, like the bubble wrap and stuff like that. I made sure there were no instructions. I looked online for instructions. I've looked at the parts and how complicated it looked. I packed that Sakaran right back in the box, taped it up, put Richard's address on it, and shipped it out to him.
Oh yeah. He's pimping you out, bro. For real.
Oh yeah. Also, this guy is a crazy good tattoo artist.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're in the Dallas area, Texas, you can hit him up for some awesome tattoos.
Yeah, he kills. He kills. That's fine, bro. Get you a tat.
I want a tat on my. Never mind.
Well, we are at the top of the hour. I guess we'll talk about these magic cards another time. But we'll finally get to use that cool thumbnail.
Yeah. This time, because it's still good. Still good.
Ricolicioso.
Ooh, I like it when you did that.
Do you have any
Oh,
closing
Lord.
thoughts? Some droplets of wisdom for our hobby fam.
Say that again. I
Ricolicioso.
love it when you do that. Such a fat ass deal.
No, man. So I'm really excited to see what Leagues of Oktan are gonna do. You know what the community is gonna do, how they're gonna respond, how they're going to react. If the other countries surrounding us, throughout Europe, are gonna follow suit, are they gonna ban tournament play of the LOVs, or I don't know, or will the hype die down? Who knows? Again, curious to know how that's going to work out. I'm also curious to see what the scene's going to be like here, right? You know, if we're going to have a lot of people just running out to play, you know, Oni. You know, they're going to want to build. Of course, I think most of all, I really see the desire to actually get the models, paint them, and showcase them. They're gorgeous models. I can see that first and foremost.
Love you
but
too,
also
brother.
I can also see, you know, people just wanting to play them. They wanting to actually see how, you know, how they stack up playing everybody, you know. So in tournament and outside tournament, you know. So I'm really curious to see how they're gonna work. So yeah, I want to be the fly on the wall. So I want to see how that actually works out.
Why, hello there.
Hi there. Aside from that, it was a good show. You know, we had good topics, good conversations. I love our conversations here. I love that, you know, we can agree and at times disagree.
I don't agree with you.
Well, that's why you're in the basement. So yeah, you're welcome. And so, you know, we still get to enjoy each other as friends. You know, so we appreciate every one of you. As always, we want to give a shout out to all our patrons who's really supported us. Really appreciate that. Yep.
The scroll across the bottom.
Yep,
Okay.
I got it going on right now. Thank you so much, guys, for helping us out, for, you know, supporting us. $1, 50 cents, 10 cent, whatever you've got, it'll definitely help out. So we definitely appreciate that wholeheartedly, because it kind of helps us with equipment and things like that. Kind of keeps us a little more 21st century-ish. So we're getting better and better. Consider where we started from, right? If you go look at our old videos, and then you look at, you know, our current, you know, status now. So it's just quite different. Anyway, guys. Yep. And if you got friends that are not part of the channel or haven't seen us, invite them, man. Tell them to come by, come check us out, you know, and yeah, let them be a part of the community as well. So again, thank you so much for helping us out.
Brother Oni, do you have any closing thoughts? Any droplets of wisdom for our hobby fam?
Yeah, I mean, just following up with the whole painting thing. Just paint. Just practice painting. You know, it's the only way you'll get better.
That's true.
Take a model and you paint it. That's my wisdom.
Pick up a model, paint. It's the only way you'll get better. Practice.
You're right.
And-
You're right. Practice.
Practice. And just find a buddy, paint with each other. Try, you know, they usually like try to make a competition out of it between the two of you.
Yeah.
Push yourself.
Yeah.
Push
It's
yourself.
motivation. Yeah.
Pushing yourself to paint, pushing yourself to practice, definitely.
It's funny because
Yep.
so Oni and I, so I have mad respect for Oni and his clean work. There's things that I like to emulate from Oni, and it's funny. There's things that he's picked up from me and from the rest of the group, and it's kind of funny because we're starting to see a lot of that, a lot of blends, like, you know, with the airbrush and things like that. And he's incorporating his own style in.
You
in
got
his
mad
work.
at me because
I did. I was like, "What the hell are you doing? Why?" And he goes, "Hey, this is my stuff." Okay, all right. But it was interesting. It was really cool to see his own style, you know, with his airbrushing and.
I'm coming for you too. He means us all to just.
But you know what? Again, it's that kind of stuff that get you to the point to where, you know, you're doing stuff that you've never done before. And this is, I never I never thought I would ever paint something like that, you know, or to that degree or to that level.
We need to showcase those soon. I guess next week we'll try and do a head-to-head. Actually, If you bring yours over tomorrow, Oni, we can go
Oh, yeah,
ahead and
yeah.
try and record some showcase
If
footage.
I'm being honest, I haven't even finished mine.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Okay, I win.
Yeah, you win. I've been so busy.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You've been on so many projects.
You have been. But no, it's so cool because, again, he kind of forced me to really dig deep. Part of it kind of pissed me off because I didn't want to do it.
Although I did finish Radicard, just not his base. So
Yes, true.
it's still an incomplete model.
You want me to finish the base for you then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
If I could piggyback on what you're saying about pushing yourself to paint, pushing yourself to practice, and it makes for better work, I would agree with that for sure. But if I could just add on to that, from the other end, you know, and this is why I love Art of the Week. I mean, we show off some of the top stuff too,
Right.
but sometimes a lot of times we show off stuff that's maybe not in the same place in the painting journey. If you guys just make it a point to compliments, even if it's not the most what's this Richard Gray paint job in the
Right.
world, right? If you find something that you can compliment about that person's paint job, I mean,
It
sometimes
helps a lot.
that
Yep.
that makes a world of difference. Like, you know, I remember being in a game shop and I was painting black armor that was just black primer, and I was using cheap craft paint silver and then even eventually Sharpie silver for a very no highlight, a very flat and very very stark black and silver Sharpie paint scheme, and then the High King had some gold on him, but you know, people stopping in at the game store and looking at my models saying, wow, this looks really good, and me going back and looking at my early work, I know it's not good. But because people came to the game store and they pointed out things that they loved about my paint job, I was, you know, it was a big confidence booster, and I was like, maybe I can paint. And just that little confidence booster made me paint more and more and more and more and enjoy the painting process. And I'm not saying I'm a great painter now, but I definitely kicked the ass of year one Methos.
No,
So-
you definitely. It's so funny because I think that's what's good about having friends that, you know, it kind of help motivate you. Because when I came on the scene and Methos and I started painting and we started comparing, it was so on, you know, and it was like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna be one-upped here, you know. And it's like Methos like, look what I did. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is what I did. Oh, I like what you did there. Here's what I did. Here's what I did. Ah! You know, so, next, you know, I got to be honest with you. Comparing to where we were to where we are now, it's like night and day. I still have my very first original Imperial Fist. Oh, has a chain sword and a bolter. It's like, oh. He is so chalky. I slathered Everland Sunset on that thing. Never bothered to thin it down. I mean, he was so chunky and chalky, and but that was my first. And I was gonna dunk it. It's like, nah, you know what? That needs to go. And then Methos was like, you know what? Probably a good idea that you're not. That way you have a reference. I'm like, there. So
Forget where you started.
yeah, definitely.
Actually took my first tactical squad in our last game.
Yeah.
So it definitely, they stood out against everything else, but you know, it's good having that one reference point.
Definitely, man.
Kaiser says my models look better as I get older. They age like a fine wine. He says,
Mainly
you know.
because his eyesight's gotten worse. Don't they look great? What looks great? My models.
My closing thoughts. we all know that we want to paint up some Votan at some point. Maybe not necessarily anytime soon, but at some point. So, have you guys put any thought to what colors you might want to paint your dwarves?
White and blue.
The main art we've been seeing on the Warhammer.
I really like that.
Warhammer.
Yep. I don't have any white anything, so that would be the first for me.
Encouraging compliments are the most important thing for me to do with people. I know how much I appreciate them and how much it motivates me, so I always try to return it where I can. Well, I think that's awesome because a compliment coming from you is so huge, having seen the amazing amount of detail and the fact that you paint such incredible skin. I think being complimented from such a skilled source means a lot to people.
Yeah, definitely.
Oni, got any idea what you're going to do with your Votan?
No idea. If I'm being honest, no idea.
I have been getting Bumblebee vibes.
Really?
Okay.
Black and yellow.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, that's my initial impression. There's still a lot of time between now and 2023, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, though. I really can. I can see that. And you've already started experimenting a little bit with Imperial Fist colors, so...
Yeah.
I
Painted up, what, 3 Imperial Fists this year?
Yep. They look fantastical to the testicle. Yep.
Not including the dead ones on my bases. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I think we've had some great discussions, and we've had some absolute legends in the chat tonight, so it's good to see you all again. If you guys like tonight's episode, make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that button in the name of the Emperor. If you're watching from the archives, drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be part of any of these ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm pretty sure that... Wait, am I going to get my directions right? Okay, I think it's... wait, I accidentally paused. I think it's these guys. These guys.
Yeah.
And I know for me, we'd like to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. We'd also like you to check out our brothers. We got a link tree down there for all the friends of the Frost and Fist. Check them out too. And until next time, guys, stay frosty.